Yo. Welcome in, Hitman, the bad guy. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope we're well. Did we get a chance to catch up with Night of Champions? Oh my god, my room's a mess. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Everyone's going to think less of me because my room's a mess. I have breadsticks and Pringles next to me. Oh my god. And he's still coughing because he's an old man, apparently. Is indeed that. It was an okay show. You know, it's on at a reasonable time in the UK. I'm happy for that. Always happy to watch daytime wrestling or evening wrestling, I guess. But the show was okay, you know. We're gonna do our usual kind of warm up. No spoilers. I will try. Don't know if chat's gonna hold up to that, but it's fine. We won't talk about it. Been playing 2011. Cool. That's very cool. You've been playing 2011. We don't support AI here, though, unfortunately. Kane. Oh, you're very close. So it's gonna be like a... No, it can't be. It could be... Who'd be Enna? Cena? Wow, that was... super easy. Wow, we figured that one out super quick. We don't usually do that around here. We really don't figure that one out usually that fast. Well, in that case then, shall we go on to Grid? I do have other things to talk about today. The Grid one is always one we struggle with, so... Allied with Seth Rollins and a former Cruiserweight champion. That's an interesting one. Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews. Yeah. 11 plus Rumble appearances, and it must be Kane. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I guess he was allied with, maybe it's Roman? 11 plus Rumble appearances and a tag team champion after 2024. Kofi? You play in PS2, don't have PS3. The PS2 version is still perfectly fine. The PS2 version of SVR 2011 is still really good. I don't think the physics are maybe as like accurate, but it's still like a very decent way to play the game. Welcome in, Dan. How are you? We had, me and my wonderful fiance, we had a wonderful day out in a place called Dunfermline here in Scotland. Traipsing around an old church. But weirdly enough, there was like a whole Comic-Con going on around there. So we didn't expect that. So I actually got some stuff, some really cool stuff, really cool connections as well. Networking, boring, right? Pac. Current AEW and Cruiserweight Champion, yeah, that could definitely be Pac. 11 plus. Oh wait, hold on. So beat Rollins in a 1v1 pay-per-view and allied with Rollins. Moxley? Oh, there's two people there's two places that can go into. Let's put it here. But yeah, I hope everyone else is having a great weekend. We don't normally stream on a Saturday. Wait, what day is it today? Saturday? But yeah, we've just been so busy. Beat Rollins in a 1v1 pay-per-view and current AEW. Yeah, Jericho will probably fit in there. Oh, never mind. Current AEW. Cesaro? Yeah. Maybe Edge also fit into there, yeah. So a tag team champion who's been a cruiserweight champion. So it's a world tag team champion after 2024 who's also been a cruiserweight champion. There's not many. There's not many cruiserweight WWE cruiserweight champion. I feel like this sometimes just gives away the answer though. So a Raw Tag Team Champion who's also been a cruiserweight champ. Oh, see, that gives away the answer. Gives the answer. Jordan Devlin. JD McDonough. Sorry, I forget his name. If you're gonna Google it, I can tell you. Sorry. It was just the Cruiserweight Championship. I just wanted to know. Jack? I don't know how to pronounce that name. Sorry, Jack. I don't know. It looks like Jack. A world tag team champion past 2024 who's beat Rollins one-on-one. Big E? I get this wrong all the time. There's no place for Big E. Oh my god, I didn't realize Vince McMahon made this. Breaker? Yeah, literally. No. Has Breaker never beaten Rollins? Logan Paul, though. Oh, Logan Paul didn't win at WrestleMania, did he? Theory's never beaten Rollins. Dan, former Kevin Owens? A former Universal Champ, Finn Balor? Look at that. Look at that. Thank you so much, Dan. Very much appreciate that hint. Ford. Ooh, I wonder if Ford would have fit in that spot. That's pretty cool. That's why I love that game. There's so many possibilities it could be. Thank you for the heart. All right, let's do ladder. I do like the ladder. Oh my god, the AEW Tag Team Champions, the first 10. So I for reasons unbeknownst to me, I will explain later. I know who the first tag team champions were. It was SCU. So Christopher Daniels. All right, never mind. Frankie Kazarian. Scorpio Sky. It must have been the Young Bucks. I'm going to put the Young Bucks on there. I don't think they were anywhere. I don't think they were the first. IAA, thank you so much for the follow, or the likes, sorry. Who's the other one? Nick Jackson? Okay, so that's the Bucks. Death Triangle, Lucha Bros, Penta, Phoenix. Who's Death Triangle? Pac, Mox, Claudio. Okay. Adam Page as one of the first. Oh, who would Adam Page have been teamed up with? was Adam Page teamed up with? Jared? Oh, my camera stopped. Omega. Oh, wow. I forgot all about that. Jungle Boy. Jack Perry, sorry game. Luchasaurus, he would have won it with Jack, so no, probably not. That was when I cared for AEW. This was definitely the peak AEW. This is when I was watching it. Yeah. I watched the first couple years. My mind's just a bit blank on some of the really early stuff. So another tag team, a Private Party, right? Did they not win it? Or Max Caster? When did they win it? No. Who's Private Party though? I can't. It's not Darius. What's their names? Private Party. Isaiah Cassidy? No. Mark Quinn, that was his name. Are they still in AEW? I've never seen them. Angelico? Nope. Angelico? How'd you spell it? No. Santana Ortiz? FTR? Ooh. I think you're right, FTR. Cash. Wheeler. Bingo. Dax. Harwood. Look at that. Congratulations. I don't know who first said FTR there. I think it might have been Keegan. No, Hitman. Hitman and Keegan, thank you so much for that. It's so much fun. We're blasting through these today. Let's do one more. Let's do connections. I don't have Adblock on. I don't. Okay, so we have UK. We got quite a few UK people, actually. Maybe NXT UK? Scotland? Best of play is class, yeah. You think I would have figured out Scottish people, right? If you don't know, I'm from Scotland. Anyway, probably gonna get a little trickier here. Do we have Judgment Day members? Judgment Day? Okay. I think we've got some sort of New Japan. Current New Japan, and maybe NXT no, these two are still in NXT. Must be some sort of championship. No, not Heritage. I don't know. Maybe some sort of championship. NXT Women? North American Championship. Okay. Awesome. Again, we just blasted through that. That's crazy. Well, that's fine. Do you know why? That's fine with me. I got a gift in the mail. And by a gift, I mean I purchased something a long time ago. So there's this thing I saw on Facebook ages ago. Was it on Facebook? It was on all social media, to be honest. I was scrolling through, as I normally do, and I came across Watch Wrestling Get Drunk. Now, I don't know if I've ever actually said this on the channel, but I can't actually drink. Well, I can, but I don't want to. I have a health problem, so I can't drink. Makes it tricky. So it'll be interesting to see how I adapt this. But I would like to watch wrestling with this. I should have actually watched Night of Champions with this. Not sure what the rules are, to be honest. Secret action. Cards with actions can happen in the match you're watching. Let you order someone a drink. So like if a wrestler kicks out at 2, get a drink. Or give a drink. If the crowd starts a chant, give a drink. Holy shit, you would like never... They're chanting this is awesome all the time. If there is a kick to the head, give a drink. There's been quite a few of them tonight. Versus cards. These are challenges and trivia. Closest guess and more. So for example, whose finishing move is a switch in music? Well, we know who that is. But there's also really interesting stuff in here. There's lots of like trivias. There's like mini games and stuff. So this will be really fun. I think we should do like we should do something about this. I'm not sure what though. If you've seen, a lot of you guys are new, so you might not have seen this. But we sometimes do like charity events and stuff. We do challenge streams. So we do things like eating a hot pepper. We don't do it on this channel. We will start doing it on this channel. But yeah, this could be interesting of like, if a wrestler kicks out at 2, eat a hot chili. Oh my god, that's crazy. To be fair, we could probably do this with the video game. There's nothing to say it doesn't have to be a real wrestling match, right? You could do the video game. That would be interesting. Use water instead of beer. Yeah, I would have to pee all the time though. Could still do it with pop. You can't drink. Cool. Me and you, Dan, we're in the same boat. We're in the good show. Worm, I'm new to your channel, but I'm a wrestling fan, so you piqued my interest. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for saying that. That's the whole point of the channel, right? Welcome in. I hope you feel welcome. We're gonna get some SVR 2008 on the go very shortly. But this is very cool. I'm not gonna open it just now, but that's not the only thing I got. I also got the Secret Action expansion pack, which adds 52 more cards. It says here, rock, paper, scissors, pick one person, challenge them to classic. Rock, paper, scissors, best of 3. It's a little bit whatever. If any type of graphic is put up on screen, then give a drink. Holy shit, you'd be dead. They advertise things all the time. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm guessing you saw Night of Champions. I did see Night of Champions, but some of my chat hasn't, so I don't want to spoil things. I would like to talk about it. Peep, I don't encourage the use of drugs or alcohol. Absolutely, you don't have to. Even though that it's a drinking game, as I've said, I don't drink, so you don't have to. You certainly do not have to drink alcohol. There's also the hardcore expansion pack, 65 extra cards that give you some extreme stuff. Use this card anytime to forcibly drink someone to drink double of what's on their card. That's a knockout. If there's a fight backstage, everyone takes a drink. What is Demi Bennett's ring name? Interesting. If anyone does anyone know who Demi Bennett is? I do. It says it right here. So yeah, there's some interesting trivia. Now, the one I did open last night was the bonus trivia expansion pack, and me and my fiance were in the kitchen for quite a few minutes reading some of these out. So I'm going to read out some of the bonus trivia just to see if you guys keep you guys on your toes. You know, Demi Bennett is Rhea Ripley. Congratulations, you got that right. Matt Bennett, that's a good shout. No, Demi is Rhea Ripley's real name. I'm a little parasocial like that sometimes. I do know wrestlers' real names usually, or I try to anyway. Thomas, what do I think of the King of the Ring final? The men, in fact, I'm happy. I'm happy with both of them. Let's see if there's anything in here that will trip people up. I don't want to show it on the stream though. There's some really like bitch basic stuff on here. Whose famous catchphrase is baby? Who wears a sock on his hand that looks like a cobra? I mean, there's some really basic stuff on here, but there's actually some deep cuts in here as well. I'm looking for one in particular that was really interesting. There's one I didn't know. Which wrestler has the nickname Daman? I did not know this one. Do you know who Giono Daddio is? It's Liv Morgan. Yeah. Oh, sorry, the overlay is not on. You can't see the... Sorry, that's my bad. Yes, it's from Street Fighter. Which song is it? Guile's theme. Sorry, I usually have the overlay on. I don't know why that wasn't on. Maybe I had a... I used to be a heavily alcoholic. I'd 1 or 2 bottles of rum a night. Jesus, were you A pirate? Stop drinking, don't regret it. Absolutely. Has the nickname of what? 𝗬𝗲𝗏. Which wrestler has the nickname of 𝗬𝗲𝗏? I didn't know this. Like the man, but not the man. It's 𝗬𝗲𝗏. Do I know who Oscar is? I guess not. A well-known Oscar. Oscar... Oh, Oscar Gutierrez or whatever. I feel like I've got a thing in my head. It's not the man, it's 𝗬𝗲𝗏. Do you know why Seth Rollins' last name is Lopez? No? His first name's Colby though. Very strange name. Hitman, you got it right. I did not know that. I did not know that. So yeah, Bill Goldberg's wrestling nickname was 𝗬𝗏𝗏. I had no idea. There's another one in here that really tripped me up. I should say I haven't really looked at... This is my first time properly looking at some of these. There was one that my fiance read out to me that really caught me off guard. And I'm really trying to find it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Who played Cyndi Lauper in Young Rock? Wasn't it Becky? It was the last name of his stepfather. His real father abandoned him and his mother remarried. Oh, really interesting. I didn't know that. We're really delving into the trauma of wrestlers past here. Santino was the guy with the Cobra sock. Yeah. I mean, there's some really basic stuff in here, but are you ready for a real brain tickler? To be fair, many of you guys may know this. I didn't know this. Who won the first women's match ever held at New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom event in 2023? So again, who won the first women's match ever held at New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom event in 2023? You don't get anything if you get this right, but I did not know the answer to this. Crazy.
You are smart. You are smart. You are smart.
There's some guesses coming in for sure. Oh, I'm gonna say it. 5 seconds, I'm gonna say it. Where's the box for this? What the fuck? It was Kairi Sane. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was Kairi Sane. I had no idea that Kairi was in New Japan, or she was in Stardom in 2023. Now, correct me if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't correct me if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that match not televised? Because I remember that New Japan had just acquired Stardom, and they knew that like the crowd might not be interested in it, and being in Wrestle Kingdom. So I think they did like a non-televised match at Wrestle Kingdom, which was like a Stardom Championship. And that's when I think that match took place. I could be wrong. Oh, Worm, you're missing out on some amazing wrestling. Which main event title changed hands in a non-televised wrestling show? Titles change all the time. Like, even at non-televised shows, sometimes they change hands. I remember once, didn't like the Intercontinental Championship or something like change hands? It was crazy. Don't worry, we're gonna get some some 2008 on the go very shortly. Just getting the console loaded up. didn't have it turned on at this point. I think it had something to do with AJ Styles. I'm not sure. Sometimes titles change at live events just to keep the live events interesting. Sometimes they do it just to keep the ticket sales up. I remember Bruce Pritchard saying that, like, sometimes they just do random title changes on house shows, literally just to keep the ticket sales up, because you never know what's going to happen at a live event. I mean, it's very rare that anything would actually, like, nothing ever interesting happens at a live event. But I remember I was at a live event in Newcastle before, I don't know when it was. It might have been before Clash in whatever the Cardiff show, Clash at the Castle, Cardiff. Maybe that's what it was anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. But I was in a live event in Newcastle, and Finn Balor attacked someone, and then it was that angle was used on TV. I was like, oh, that's weird. That never happens. Didn't the Mountie win the IC title at a non-televised match back in the day? That is possible. I'm not too familiar with that. Christian defeated Booker T for the IC title back in 2003 at a live event. That's crazy. Oh, warm in here. I'm gonna turn the fan on. It might end up, you might hear it in the microphone when I'm talking, but at a house show, crazy. You guys will not believe how close we are to playing 2008 right now. It's literally loading up right now. In fact, you can probably hear it. You can hear it better than I can. Boom, there we are. Welcome in, Cena544. Kevin Owens is taking the title from Sami Zayn. I don't think so. I appreciate the fan booking, but nah, I'm not believing it, afraid. What difficulty are we on? I think we're on Legend. I'm going to turn that shit down. This game's annoying. Doing turn stamina system off. I had to record some B-roll for the review, so I changed some of the settings here. But we're gonna put it on normal for now until I get a grasp on the controls. You know how it is. Shinsuke Nakamura, Drew defending his title in triple threat match against Ilya and Shinsuke. Ilya and Shinsuke. IC titles changed hands 4 times at house shows. That's what the title's for, though, to be fair. It is literally for fucking around. Like, it's what it's there for. Welcome, by the way, to 2008. This is the SmackDown versus Raw 2008, and it's a game. We're gonna get a game on the go, but let's have a quick look at the roster, right? Arguably, there were some comments on the review rightfully saying that this game's roster isn't very good, and I am inclined to agree. So we have Ashley here, Candice Michelle, Kelly, Melina, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, Tori Wilson. So the women's side of it isn't too bad, I'd say. Batista, Bobby Lashley, Carlito, good so far. Chavo Guerrero, okay, well he was there at the time. Chris Masters, okay, he was there at the time. Look at that, a new CM Punk, crazy. Is this CM Punk's first game? I think this is CM Punk's first game. Worm, I went to bragging rights in 2010. I believe it was the last Buried Alive match between Undertaker and Kane. Wow. I never got to see The Undertaker live. I really wish I did, man. Edge, Elijah Burke. We needed some ECW representation. Although, to be fair, Elijah Burke was pretty cool this time. Dave Finlay wasn't that cool, but he was there at the time. Great Khali. debatably wasn't very cool, but he was there at the time. I don't even remember Gregory Helms ever being in WWE at this time. JBL, Jeff Hardy returns. He actually returned before the release of 2007, but didn't make it into the game because it was before like DLC and stuff, sadly. Kane's pyro got really hot. Yeah, I have seen Kane wrestle. I was never near the pyro though, but yeah, I saw Team Hell No one time. We have the big guy, the GOAT, John Cena. You may have heard of him. Johnny Nitro with the ECW Championship. JTG, of course, being here. Kenny Dykstra. Don't remember Kenny being here at this time. This is after Spirit Squad. Spirit Squad barely made it into any video game, sadly, but Kenny is here. He's now a producer for WWE. We have King Ka. Of course, Booker T winning, very timely, winning King of the Ring. Very cool. He had a very good run with the King of the Ring gimmick. Marcus Carvon. Fucking Monty Brown, right? That was his name, Monty Brown? Jeez, oh, what a time. He amounted to nothing in WWE. And TNA, he was amazing. Didn't he do that like amazing Hurricane Rana off the top of the cage? Or something? But yeah, he was not much of anything in WWE. The Mountie beat Brett in 92. Very cool. At a house show. I think I did see your message before. Sorry. I was in nosebleeds behind the stage. You could feel the heat from the stage power. Crazy. Where were we? We were at AEW All in Wembley, and we were probably in a similar position as you. We were to the where the stage was. We were like, if you were looking at the entrance of the stage, we were to the right on the stands, and yeah, you could feel the heat from the pyro. That was Elix Skipper. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh no, I've done a hate crime. I don't know who these people are. Oh well. Monty Brown done nothing apparently. You remember Monty Brown had Teddy Long as his manager? No, I don't remember any of this. Did this happen? That's crazy. We got Matt Hardy, Mr. Kennedy, MVP's first game as well. Very cool. I don't know if he was cool at this time. I weirdly remember MVP debuting. He had that best of 8 series with Benoit, who we'll talk about shortly. And yeah, MVP was here. He had a pretty good US title run. He did have a pretty good WrestleMania match that year. Yeah, he's here. It was cool. Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ric Flair, Sandman. Sandman weirdly drafted to Raw. Like, he's not part of ECW, he's on the Raw brand in this game. That seems a little odd to me, but fair enough. Shad, rest in peace, what a legend. Shane McMahon, Shawn Michaels, Snitsky, it wasn't his fault. Triple H at the game. Umanga with the IC title. The Undertaker. And then we get into some long characters as well. Got Mr. McMahon, William Regal, Sabu representing ECW, Terry Funk representing ECW, Tommy Dreamer representing ECW, currently unemployed Tommy Dreamer, Bret the Hitman Hart, Mick Foley, Rick Rude, The Rock, Piper, Austin, and then into the women again. So it's actually a pretty good roster for like the kind of legend side of it. Teddy Long also used to be a referee. He did used to be a referee back in the day. Sandman mentioned on his interview with CVV that when he got moved to Raw, he asked for his release. Jeez, oh. He managed the Undertaker WCW when he was Mean Mark. Really? I didn't know that. I knew that Paul Heyman. Managed the Undertaker when he was in WCW. Didn't know about Teddy Long. Interesting. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good Legends roster. We got Austin, Piper, Rock, Rude, Foley, Brett, Dreamer, Funk, Sabu. I mean, as it goes, I would say that's a pretty good roster. The base roster though, it's not amazing. I would say it's not great. It's not that big a roster either. You kind of fly through it, to be honest. People you want to play as, Mr. Kennedy. I don't actually know if I said his name or not, but Mr. Kennedy, you probably do want to play as him, maybe. Well player, you go one-on-one with The Undertaker, or you've got a tag team main event. Back in the day when Teddy Long was the GM of SmackDown, it was like, honestly, it was like either you go one-on-one with The Undertaker, or you've got a tag team main event. Yeah, 𝗰𝗸𝗃𝗃 is the IC champion in this game. I assume he would have beaten Santino for that belt, because Santino, or maybe Santino beat 𝗰𝗃𝗃 for the title. I can't remember. Either way, rest in peace. This game also really pissed me off. Mark Henry at this time was one of my favorites. I don't know why specifically. He was kind of a main eventer at this time. He had a main event run with Batista, and Mark was really good. He was kind of doing the Hall of Pain stuff a little bit at this time, not fully. But his model in this game is so bad. Like it is so skinny, and it's just not representative. Either way, we'll use him. But we will also talk about one very obvious roster omission. So let's play King Booker versus Mark Henry. We'll do a no DQ match. I want to show off some of the things you might be able to do in this game. So let's do no countouts, no DQ. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. You just subbed? Thank you so much, Worm, for the subscription. Really appreciate that. Do I have music on?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
I do.
On the way to the ring, from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 256 pounds, King Booker.
When I was younger, I need to say, this goddamn entrance pissed me off to no degree. The repetitive music, Booker T being a wank, coming out of Queen Sharmell, and he would constantly be like, was it not Sharmell behind him was like, oh hail King Booker. I got, this shit pissed me off so much. And as a child, it pissed me off. Now that I'm an adult, I fucking love it. I love it so much. It is fantastic work. I really wish I didn't underappreciate it as a child, because Booker at this time was fantastic. The only downside to Booker at this time is he was in 2006 or 7. He was put against Triple H, and that kind of derailed his whole like year essentially. Because I know that Triple H was coming back from his one of his many quad injuries. He faced Booker T at SummerSlam, and it just made Booker T look like a tit. And it just, yeah, whatever. Was it not that SummerSlam? I think also Booker T had a shoot fight with Batista backstage and apparently knocked him out. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but the rumors go that yeah, Booker T beat Batista in a shoot fight backstage was it at SummerSlam? I have no idea.
From Silsbee, Texas, weighing in at
My mom used to hate Vicky Guerrero, and I said, if you hate her, she's doing her job right. Exactly, Dan. That is exactly it. Worm, I just made him in 2K26. Wish they actually had a Persona card for King Booker. They do, but not in. I don't think that's in 2K26, but they do have a Persona card in the other games for King Booker. Oh, I'm actually quite surprised it's not in. I'm actually surprised it's not already in there, to be honest. This theme song is so good. All right, so this is going to be our first match then. We're going to be playing Booker T versus Mark Henry. Booker T, obviously, as I said, underappreciated at this time, at least in my opinion. Mark Henry at this time was absolutely killing it. He was in the main event scene. I don't like this model for Mark though. I think it is far too skinny. I just don't think Mark was this. It's almost like fat, muscly fat. I don't think Mark was particularly that toned at this time. He definitely didn't have those chest muscles, that's for sure.
These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit. I love that attitude, JR.
Peep, am I watching Forbidden Door tomorrow? I actually didn't know if it was on. I saw a TikTok earlier from somebody, and yeah, I didn't know it was on. So I'm gonna have to. I was gonna try and get into AEW. I think I said this at the last pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. I was a bit late on watching Double or Nothing, but I was like, I could probably get back into this. It was a good show. I've heard that AEW is having a really good run right now, so maybe I should get back into it. But as for Forbidden Door, I don't think I really care much for the New Japan guys right now, so I'm not sure. Like, I didn't go to the London one last year, for example. It just didn't overly interest me. So, bookend. Boom. Amazing. We're not done. We're not done yet. Mark Henry had a great career, but man, I feel like he should have had more. He was a beast. The Hall of Pain run was fantastic. It's just a shame that it came quite late in the career, you know? Like, I think if the Hall of Pain stuff, or if he got a better chance, maybe a bit earlier, I think we would have had a lot more Mark Henry. You think the Mark Henry body model in 8 is better than 26? His gut's too big in 22K. Nah, I think the 2K one was perfect. That's what he looked like back then. You know, I don't. He was never. He never looked like this in real life. He had a gut. Like, he was a big guy.
Hey, that's King Booker to you. Have a little respect for us royal types.
I gotta say though, Mark really did have one hell of a run. He was actually one of my favorites growing up. I never really got to see much of Booker T until WWE. And even then, we kind of stopped watching after the invasion, so didn't really get to see much Booker T. Mark Henry, though, I saw a lot of. He did, unfortunately, lead me to being accidentally racist a lot when I was younger. Obviously didn't know that at the time. But his sexual chocolate gimmick led many children to say the wrong fucking thing. And I realize in hindsight how offensive all of that can be misconstrued as. But hey, it was all out of love. I really, really did love Mark. Still do, really.
When a wooden table meets flesh and bone,
oh shit.
The table wins. It's a deadly weapon for sure, JR.
Imagine, like, I was definitely the kid in school to be kicking about, like, quoting The Rock's catchphrases and Rock's chopping teachers and all that, as DX would do. But it made me realize that, or it made me realize as an adult that actually WWE really was a bad influence for quite a lot of the sayings and stuff. Like, as a child, I had no idea what The Rock's Poontang Pie was, or the People's Strudel, or any of that shit. And only now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh my god, I should not have been listening to that as a child. Oh, I should have put my suited on my finisher there. I lost it. Bollocks. And yeah, as I said, most of The Rock's catchphrases apparently super dodgy, shouldn't be repeating them in school. And Mark Henry's sexual chocolate also led many stupid white kids like me to be extremely racist. I'm not sure what else. Maybe Kai and Tai. Kai and Tai had some pretty gnarly stuff back in the day. Choppy Choppy PP and all that. That wasn't great. I mean, it was great TV, but my god, for representation and racism, and not great. Kai and Tai in general, apparently super racist. Funaki, though, apparently, funny story, Funaki would hitchhike with, what was it? Wouldn't he ride with Christian? Because apparently Christian, like, felt bad for him because he couldn't speak English, and he would just he was like, you come along, you know, Funaki, you come along with us. You don't speak English very well. You're under our wing. And apparently he did that for like multiple years. And at one point, for literally like no reason, Funaki just started speaking like fluent English years after all these free trips around the world, apparently. And yeah, Funaki admitted it was like it was the long, just a very long rib.
I had a feeling their paths are going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it. Me too. It almost makes it worth having.
Excuse me. Sorry, scared the shit out of my cat there. Do you remember The Rock telling McFoley he didn't run over Stone Cold and he sent it China? Oh my god, I do remember that. Oh, bad, terrible stuff. Terrible stuff.
You might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tail. All right.
Yeah, The Rock had some really bad promos back then. Jesus.
I don't use the word even. I don't believe it.
Look at this, the world's strongest slam. This game has... Whoa, I have never seen this before. I just learned something today. That's fucked up. I didn't know you could do that. So...
That's not going to be easy. That's for sure. No one in this match.
Again, like this. Sorry, I'm so bamboozled. This game has fighting styles. So in this case, Booker T is a showman. So he does have the ability to steal finishers, which I feel like I've done before. I've never seen that animation though. That animation is like crazy as hell.
I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go.
As kids thought it was hilarious. Absolutely.
I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the.
But then you realize, oh shit, it's not funny. The thing is though, I do like, this is the thing, like wrestling back then, super offensive, but that it wasn't just wrestling, it was just the world, right? It was just the world we live in. The MTV was taking the piss. Everyone was taking the piss out of like minorities and stuff. But the fact that like we've grown up, we've realized it was wrong, and we can still look back at it fondly, but just to realize that like, yes, the time it happened in was fantastic. Never let it happen again. Like the Attitude Era, I don't think people realize how like actually bad the Attitude Era is. Like, don't get me wrong, best era in wrestling, it was fantastic. The actual product was untouchable. What they were doing on TV was fantastic. But saying that, most of the storylines they were doing were really stupid and offensive, and everything Val Venus was in was definitely not for kids. But at the same time, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the main event, was fantastic. DX was, Jesus Christ, man. DX was kicking ass. Owen Hart was fantastic at the time. Ken Shamrock was kicking ass. Mick Foley was amazing in promos and wrestling and stuff like that. And it's like, man, what a time. What a time. But at the same time, we should go back to, I wish we would go back to that in terms of like, the way the show was put together, the flow of the show and the main event scene. We should go back to that. But we shouldn't go back to the objectifying women and generally being racist as fuck. We shouldn't go back to that.
Here's your winner, King.
You didn't go back to you didn't watch the WWE after the invasion angle. When did you pick it back up? So yeah, it was mostly dictated by my brother. I was too young to have any kind of finance or stake in the situation, so to be fair, I say that we weren't watching. We watched the occasional. So we watched like the Royal Rumbles and the WrestleManias and maybe the SummerSlams. But the thing is, like, I didn't really know anything that was going on at that time. I was just watching it. We would watch it occasionally on like the TV channel goes Sky One, and that would have like a 1 hour condensed version of Raw and SmackDown every Saturday morning, and we would watch that. But we just couldn't keep up with all of it because it wasn't that interesting at the time. So yeah, after the invasion, we basically just stopped watching, and we didn't pick up until 2007 ish, when DX came back. When DX reformed, I think that was what made my brother want to go back to watching wrestling. So by the time that we picked up in 2007, Cena was WWE champion, Batista was the world heavyweight champion, I remember Santino starting, Umaga starting. I remember Crime Time, Jericho coming back. And yeah, like it was awesome. It was a good time to get back into it, to be fair. They were really ramping up. And then 2008 came, and I think maybe I don't know if maybe the storylines weren't as interesting. I don't know what was going on in 2008. And then yeah, I just kept watching it. I even watched through the Raw guest host era. I cannot believe, you know, me and my best friends, we talk about this all the time. We're just like, we watch, like, WWE now is a million times better than WWE in 2010. And I don't think people realize how actually bad WWE was at that point. And me and my friends cannot stay up to watch Raw now because we're just too old and boring. But back in 2010 or 2009 or whatever year it was, we were up every week watching Raw live. And I don't know why, because it was fucking dreadful. So when people online say that WWE right now is really creatively bankrupt or bland or dull or boring, they really don't know. I genuinely, like, yes, WWE right now is boring. I feel like I'm just yapping and having a rant. I think there's a big influx of, like, I'm going to put on a Raw Rumble while I have a rant. Let's put on fuck it, let's put on a Raw Rumble. Sure. So my theory is that there has been a massive influx of new wrestling fans since the Netflix acquisition. I think since TKO's taken over and Netflix is part of the equation, ESPN's part of the equation, the mainstream appeal of wrestling is back, right? It's super popular right now. So I think there's this massive influx of new wrestling fans who've never seen the product before. So they're watching it now. They're watching it every week. And they're like, this is odd. I don't know what's going on. So they watch it more and more and more every single week. They get to SummerSlam. And they're like, creative is, like, okay. But, like, it's kind of dull at this point. And then SummerSlam happens. And they're like, I'm going to keep watching. It's going to get better. And then they just complain online. And they're like, nothing's really happening. WWE is in a holding pattern after SummerSlam up to, like, Survivor Series. And then they go, I'm going to give Survivor Series the last chance. Survivor Series is my last chance. If nothing interesting happens, I'm going to stop watching. So they watch Survivor Series and they go, oh, this is actually really good. I like War Games. I like the storylines playing out. I'm going to keep watching. And then it's Raw Rumble season. And then they keep watching. And then Raw Rumble to WrestleMania, peak WWE. Everything's perfect. Everything is amazing. The storylines make sense. Every single episode is absolutely must-watch TV. Raw and SmackDown for the most part. And then WrestleMania happens. You're on a high. You're like, this is well, maybe not this year, but for the most part, WrestleMania, you're on a high. And you're like, this is the best shit ever. I fucking love WWE. And then after WrestleMania, Backlash happens, and everyone's bored again. And I genuinely think, like, new wrestling fans don't understand the cyclical nature of wrestling. The cyclical nature of wrestling is that everything between January and April is fucking gold. Everything after the summer is boring. Everything leading up to the summer is boring. And it doesn't pick up again until, like, November. Like, this is just how it's always been. It's always been that way. Admittedly, Money in the Bank being in June really, really helped. Money in the Bank, I think, being in June, July, I think actually really helped the flow of the show because it kept you, like, interested into who wins the briefcase and stuff. But they've actually moved that this year to the end of the year. And I think by moving Money in the Bank to the end of the year, I'm just like, oh, nothing interesting is going to happen in WWE until Money in the Bank. Maybe SummerSlam, to be fair. I think after basically you have these, like, key landmarks of the year. You're like, Royal Rumble, cool shit happens. WrestleMania, cool shit happens. SummerSlam, cool shit happens. Money in the Bank, cool shit happens. SummerSlam maybe has some cool stuff happening, but the rest of the pay-per-views, which is like, what, the other 8 of them, nothing happens. Nothing happens on those shows. Same with, like, the Saudi Arabia shows, you know, Night of Champions, like tonight. Nothing well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but like,
That's gonna happen, King.
you know,
He's built up too much momentum.
usually, I don't want to say anything, but usually nothing happens, you know? So
Show off all you want, but it's not gonna win you.
maybe there are some exceptions to the rule, obviously, as I'm just yapping away, but I don't know. I just, I'm not watching WWE right now. I watch pay-per-views. I don't watch week to week. And the pay-per-views, the PLEs, I find them really hard to watch. I think the ads, especially, are just painful. The painful. The ads on the PLEs are just egregious, man. They should never have ads on pay-per-views. You're paying for the show. I don't know why you're getting ads, but... Or if you're going to do ad breaks, at least do something for people who don't have ads. Like, I have to sit through 4 minutes of elevator music instead of, you know, watching a Danhausen promo. Anyway, that's my soapbox. I'm sorry. I just had to get that off my chest. Peep, your favorite 3 periods are mid-90s. Mid-90s before the Attitude Era. 2002 to 2005. 2008 to 2012.
And then it's too late.
Yes. What? What about? I'm gonna have to say it. What about 2006 and 7 specifically made you not like the product? Because there was nothing different between 2005 and 8 to be excluded from that list.
You're not. Look at this. Look at this.
Also, the mid-90s, statistically speaking, is like the worst. That's literally one of the worst periods for WWE ever. Like, just before the mid-90s, so 95 to, I don't know, 97 or whatever, is like, literally the company was going to close in 1995 and 6. Like, it was terrible. By all accounts. As the story goes, they took the water coolers out of headquarters, the WWE headquarters, because they couldn't afford the water bill or whatever. Like, they were going bankrupt because the product was so bad. That's mad. I find that crazy. I totally respect everyone's opinion, by the way. I'm never shitting on anyone's opinion. It's a healthy discussion, but I can still find you crazy. I can still find you mad.
But whenever Flair does it, you turn a blind eye. Hey, I'm not oblivious to the Nature Boys.
Freedom of speech, not freedom of consequence. You can say crazy shit in my chat, but my God, I'm gonna judge you for it.
Look at him feeding off the energy from this capacity crowd. He's unstoppable. You can't ever count on these fans.
Cena just absolutely blasted Kane in the balls. The golden era, 88 to 93, was fantastic. Went massively downhill, as much as I love Brett and Sean. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think he's got every right to be proud. Well,
the late 80s were still pretty good. I guess WWE was in a tough spot, right? Because they had just come on.
that went nowhere.
Why did the bot pick that one? That person got banned, and the bot still picked it up. Crazy stuff. Anyway.
Who can go toe to toe. He might as well start walking back to the locker room. He's out of this match.
Kane and the Undertaker in the same ring at the same time. Oh my God. Had their fighting each other.
Sabu and all those other ECW superstars disgust me. I don't believe it.
The late 80s was fantastic. I would say the late 80s is pretty good. I don't know if I'm not too familiar with the late 80s. I'm not sure. Like, I have definitely gone back to watch a lot of it, but like, I don't think I can tell you anything specifically that happened in like 88 or 89, you know. I think that it was tough with like the lawsuit, Hogan on the Rampage, Hogan and Ventura on the Rampage against the WWE at the time, and yeah, exactly, Dan. That's basically what I'm trying to say. WWE lost Hogan, Savage Warrior, plus the steroid trial. The steroid trial, especially, a big deal. A lot of wrestlers lost size. They were focusing on a lot of smaller people. Razor, Shawn, the 1, 2, 3 Kids, Bret Hart, with the exception being like Yokozuna. They were still pushing people like Owen Hart. Yeah, good stuff at that time. Like, it is good stuff at the time, but I get what you mean. They were also running Superstars and Raw out of like high school gym because they couldn't afford anything. Peep, I lead the mid-90s because it was more technical based. Bret Hart spearheaded that era. Yeah, I guess the mid-90s is quite technical. I really liked I think Mick Foley was I was saying this recently. I think Mick Foley is like an underrated gem for WWF at that time. Some of those in your house matches with Mankind, holy shit, they were amazing. What do you think Vince would have done with the product if WCW never happened or competed? Do you think the product would still be all character based? No. So here's the thing, right? A lot of people like to ask this whole, what if WCW was never bought? Or what if WCW won the war? I think that's probably the bigger question. And what if WCW won the war? I genuinely think if WCW won the war, you'd be in the exact same position. Like, I think WWE would not have changed in this, like, or the trajectory that WWE went in would be the exact same trajectory that WCW went in. WCW would have gone, you know, they would have done their own invasion, most likely. They would have also probably have gone into family-friendly TV, maybe earlier than 2008, if I'm being honest. And they probably would have been a very profitable company. Like, it's crazy to think that I don't think that the fact that WWE was so badly ran for quite a few years, like the kind of the late 2000s and stuff like that, I genuinely don't think I don't think WCW would have been any different at all. I think if WCW became super popular and had celebrity attention the way that we did in the 2010s, I also think they would have had something akin to a guest host. Maybe it wouldn't have been a guest host specifically, but I genuinely think they would have had celebrities every single week. Like, it just would have happened. So if WCW had never happened or competed, it's a really interesting question, isn't it? I don't think... I think WWE would have changed with the times. Because ultimately, yes, WCW absolutely spearheaded change. But it wasn't just WCW. That's the thing. ECW, I know that ECW is not super popular, or it wasn't super popular at the time. It was popular in its small circles, but it was very small circles. ECW was the change that WWE needed. It wasn't really WCW. It was ECW's realness that WWE actually needed. So realistically, the world was going into that kind of edgy culture in the 90s. I think WWE would have just followed suit, and they would have done exactly the same. Maybe not exactly the same. You know, they were trying to counter-program WCW, so they probably would have just kept counter-programming whatever they decided was competition. But like, that's a fair point. ECW did do it first on a smaller scale. Yeah, exactly. Like, and even then, like, I was watching a clip of, I still haven't watched the full interview, but I was watching Paul Heyman on Chris Van Vliet's podcast and saying like the similar things of Vince was super aware of what was going on in ECW at the time, even to the point of Vince fucking loved ECW. He wanted ECW to survive big time. There were, you know, Paul Heyman recollects three specific times when WWE paid a pretty substantial chunk of change to ECW. I can't remember what the first one was. The second one was paying every single week for Too Cold Scorpio to appear on Raw, and the third one was to put on what I think would end up being ECW's last pay-per-view. So it's like, yes, WWE wasn't directly funding ECW, but there was money transferred for pretty substantial amounts of time. But there was also talent transfers and stuff. Nobody talks about that. You know, did we have people appearing on Jerry Lawler was on ECW guys appearing on Raw, Sabu jumping off the Raw letters on the Raw stage. Was it Sandman or something? Or Chico Scorpio getting in, beating people up? Like, Vince loved ECW. I think he really liked what they were doing. The only downside is Taz, you know, I think Taz might have been like the pinpoint for Vince, because Tommy Dreamer and Paul Heyman saw what Taz was, and knew exactly what Taz was, which was he's this small but feisty suplex machine. I don't think Vince got that. I don't think Vince understood, oh, he's a small guy who wrestles. I get why Vince didn't like it, but like he really should have been better with Taz. Peep, for the 2006-2008, it lost the wrestling side, it became more spectacle. Then it picked back up on the wrestling side 8 to 12. Then they pull away from the wrestling, stuff like AJ Lee.
You can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
I kind of get what you mean, because AJ was I don't think she was general manager at that point, was she? Maybe she was. There was like the love triangle between AJ, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. I get that.
He's all fired up now, King. And I'd hate to be
But that's melodrama. I don't. I totally understand what you mean. Like, I'm not trying to belittle you. I totally get it. But at the same time, I'm like, what's the difference between AJ Lee's love triangle than, I don't know, Ken Shamrock and Val Venus fighting over Ken Shamrock's sister, right? That happened in the 90s. Or what's the difference between Sherry being between Hogan and Savage? It's the same stuff. Or I don't think they've really done a storyline like that, but it's just one of those things of like, man, I maybe the AJ Lee stuff wasn't done very well, but like they have done that story in other aspects. Triple H, Stephanie and Test, like this the same stuff, you know, love triangles, man. Otis, Liv and Sonya, and someone else. I can't remember who. Bobby Lashley, right? That was some good stuff, man. Dan, you heard the story of Shane. Exactly, Triple H angle Stephanie, Triple H Orton Stephanie, like the awesome storylines. You heard the story of Shane wanting Vince to buy the UFC in the early odds. Shane got it, but Vince didn't. Would have been a really smart business practice. Yeah, I mean, UFC struggled for a long time. Like the UFC is really interesting because they really struggle to like build stars, right? They roll. Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather having a tour, like people were so dumb to like, not dumb. Sorry, dumb's not the right word.
That's not what they signed up for, King.
UFC fans like to shit on WWE for being fake, right? It's fake because they're not really fighting or whatever it may be.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch.
Or in some cases, a lot of people say, that like they like the technicality of UFC or whatever it may be. But I'm just like,
it doesn't matter.
Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather had one of the biggest fights in history. And they literally went round the country doing press conferences where they did nothing but cut promos on each other.
Mark my words.
And they were fake as fuck. And the fight was completely thrown. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Conor McGregor, had that spat with Becky Lynch and he likes to call wrestling fake and all that. Conor McGregor would not be as rich as he is currently without cutting wrestling promos on a UFC tour. It's insane, absolutely insane. And the thing about UFC as well is like they build up these stars, they get undefeated streaks, and then they lose one fight. They lose one goddamn fight, and their stock is just completely gone. They're back at the very bottom, and then nobody cares about them anymore. People only care about the original undefeated UFC streak. Once that person loses, nobody cares about them anymore, and it is so hard as a business to build main event caliber stars when that is the practice. It's insane.
I wouldn't think so, King. Not without a medical miracle.
Keep not saying that you don't get the storylines and the creative, just watching good pure wrestling. There's always good there's always good pure technical wrestling matches. You just need to know where you look for it. You know, I'm the same as you. I jumped on the New Japan wagon back in 2017, 18, maybe 19, whenever, just before AEW really kicked off. When Jericho went back to New Japan, I think that's when I really got into it. And holy shit, there was some awesome stuff back then, and nobody was doing what New Japan was doing back then. And then AEW started, and AEW really channeled a lot of that New Japan stuff in there as well.
Are you sure you're able to cover it?
But New Japan got stale after a while. I got sick of the constant tag matches and the constant repeat matches and the main event and stuff like that. It's also really hard to keep up with New Japan's schedule because they don't really have like a show. They put on events all year round, and they don't really have like a kind of televised, well, they do have a televised show, but they don't have like a weekly Raw or SmackDown, for example. They have a calendar of events, and you just kind of have to know when things are on. It's quite old school in that regard, but it's a lot harder to keep up with.
I like everything about Nitro.
But yeah, back in that New Japan time, I don't think anybody was doing what they were doing. AEW started, and AEW, like you're saying, pure technical, well, not really technical wrestling. There's a lot of flippy shit in AEW back in the day, and even now, to be honest, more now probably. But yeah, AEW totally willing to go on a risk and try some totally different matches that you would never see in WWE. I still remember that first AEW Dark where they had Moxley. I think they had Moxley on there. And they had Joey Janela and Omega in that hardcore match and stuff. Like, that stuff that like was never happening in WWE at that time. Even now, to be honest, probably not happening. But AEW tamed down in ways. I say in ways, though, because it's still not... there's still a lot of things in AEW that put me off, like staples and needle injections and stuff like that. That's not wrestling to me. That's backyard shit, and I'm not interested in watching that. But they do usually only do that as like a one-off, or it's like one match on a card. And there goes Kenny. Umanga wins the Royal Rumble. I think like the interesting thing about WWE, or just wrestling in general, is there is a show for everyone everywhere now. There are so many indies. I remember Fight TV used to be so cool. There were so many really cool independents on Fight. I mean, even the company I was working for, Discovery Wrestling, they were on Fight as well. Like I don't know if we made any money, but people were watching it. I wasn't part of that kind of side of the business. Dan, I hate the 15 super kicks with hardly any selling. That's not wrestling. I kind of agree. I'm not too bothered about the super kick thing. You know, super kick, match moves change over the years. I'm just gonna have to accept it for what it is. But I do agree with selling. I think that the whole point of wrestling is that you need to root for the good guy. You need to tell a story. You need to have there needs to be something for me to care about. And if the good guy I want to win has an injury of some kind, and they're fighting through the pain and all that, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, he's gonna come back from the pain. Like, you don't get that a lot these days, and I think it is a lost art. It genuinely is a lost art. Again, though, New Japan is so good at selling. The way that they tell stories is fucking fantastic. It's just a shame that their product is so boring. Danny, I was rooting for the other guy. Kenny didn't make it, unfortunately. Umaga killed Kenny. What a bastard. Super kicks is just an example. I meant more the spamming of move. That's fair. The Canadian Destroyer really annoys me. The Canadian Destroyer, not the move. I absolutely love the move, but using it as a if you're going to do a Canadian Destroyer, especially if it's like a Canadian Destroyer off the top rope or whatever it may be, it needs to finish a match. It needs to be it's a main event. It's a finisher, you know, absolutely a finisher. Shall we dive into some 24/7 mode? Now, 24/7 mode is the storyline of this year, and it's not great. We played a little bit on season mode Sundays. I'm gonna cheat here. I'm gonna put it in the stream, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure there's a video going up tomorrow. In fact, I definitely don't have one ready. Whether I can record one or not is another question. So there might be, consider this maybe, yeah, we're gonna have to consider this season mode Sundays. Actually, no, I won't have time. I'm going out tomorrow as well for another thing, so I won't have time tomorrow to record a video. So this is going to have to be our season mode Sundays as well. 24/7 mode is your story mode this year. It's your story mode and your general manager mode rolled into one. GM mode still in this version, exactly. So this is GM mode and season mode rolled into one, and it sucks. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great. It's really not great. Do we have any storylines? I don't think we do. Oh, I think I need to. I think I've just signed up to be part of a movie project. So that's the storyline that we're playing now. You're probably going to see kind of the same storylines as you play here. We have a really long time until the next pay-per-view, which is going to be, the pay-per-view is probably, oh my god, hard. I'm going to put it on easy for now. If it's too easy, then I'll skip it. But yeah. Peep, you never played this game. Wow. I think you're lucky, to be honest.
This is bigger than both of us, baby. This crazy world just wasn't made for the likes of us. What's so funny? Nobody can work with crap like this. Let's see you try.
This isn't about you, and it isn't about me. This is bigger than both of us, baby.
Oh my god, Carlito, what the?
Actor to actor.
Oh, bring it on. I'm not going down. So the actual cutscenes in this game are not bad. I actually quite like the way that the story is told in this game. Oh, I have text messages. All right.
You think you're supposed to be bad or something? You're a joke. And you're lucky I didn't decide to teach you a lesson right there. But I'm saving a performance like that for Raw, when all the cameras are on Carlito.
That's what she said. Oh, God. Thanks, Michael Scott. So you can kind of see the GM mode influence here. You can see the full card. You can technically select any of these, I think. But we're just going to play our match. Can we turn entrances off? Oh, okay. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could actually play as the opponent and you could technically beat your own character, I guess, if you want.
Backlash behind us. The build to vengeance.
Backlash.
begins tonight. This is
Backlash.
Jerry the King Lawler, and it sounds like some of our superstars are.
So these cutscenes, here we're seeing Jeff Hardy being an absolute fucking creep in the women's locker room. These are just generic. Oh, stinky. This is just a generic cutscene. It'll play. It'll play so many times.
Some steam in the ring. I can't wait.
Jeff is so weird for doing that. I'm playing as Jeff Hardy, yeah. Danny, I didn't watch wrestling at this point. I felt that we changed to make it more corporate, and I got burned out watching bland wrestling. I missed Mick in the hardcore matches. I kind of get you. I do get you. I think there was a big transition period here where like WWE was going PG, and they were trying to find their footing of like, what can we do in a PG environment. Now, admittedly, WWE had been family friendly for a long time, to be honest, by this point. The actual PG part of it, I actually don't really think the PG part of it had anything to do with, like, the age rating didn't have anything to do with like the quality of the product. The quality of the product, which is bad. No, I can't remember anything in like 2002 onwards that would have broken any PG guidelines. Maybe Triple H being racist, that probably to Booker T probably wasn't great.
His screen test left a little something to be desired.
Even then, this sounds really dodgy, but I think in film ratings, I don't think racism even it doesn't bump the age rating up. It's usually like strong language and I guess adult content and themes. But wrestling never has adult content and themes unless it was the Divas. Weirdly enough, though, WWE went PG in 2008 and they still had the Divas doing weird shit and they weren't wrestling. Whatever they were doing in matches, it fucking was not wrestling, I'll tell you that much. But to be fair, Danny, they did have ECW One Night Stand. So, one night of the year, one night of the year for a couple of years, it was like 3 or 4 years, they brought in the ECW alumni, and they kicked some ass for one night only with some WWE guys, some weapons. It's crazy though, because the first ECW One Night Stand is such an ECW show. My God, everything on it is so ECW. But then the second one was like ECW versus WWE, which I guess the first one kind of is as well. But like, I still remember, and I watched ECW One Night Stand, the second one. I think it was 2007, and that show was so good. But the finish to Rey Mysterio versus Sabu for the World Heavyweight Championship, the finish to that match is dreadful. I don't know who workshopped that shit, but they shouldn't have. It was dreadful. If you've never seen the match, it ends in what is essentially like a double knockout. And you're just like, this is very un-ECW like of the whole thing. Because they, to be fair, they have like a pretty insane bump of the it's a table stacked against a railing in the ring, I think, and they go for like a kind of springboard DDT outside the ring to go through the table, and they whiff the table. I mean, it kind of breaks, but they kind of slip on the table and they break the whole thing. And then the match just kind of ends with kind of a, not really a disqualification, but like a double knockout. And it just left a bad taste in everyone's mouth, to be honest. It wasn't the right, it was the wrong call at that time. I think there was maybe a concern that like Rey beating Sabu would have gotten like a bad reaction from the crowd. But I think the crowd probably would have accepted Rey getting the win. I don't think the ECW crowd hated I don't think the ECW crowd hated Rey Mysterio that much. This 450 is terrible, man. Either the 450 is terrible or I'm terrible. I think I'm terrible at the game.
Oh, sure. Now the fans start to cheer for him. Now that he's in the driver's seat.
Come on, King. He's had the crowd behind him all match, and now it's paying off. Oh, boy. The adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something quick.
What are the chances that I can make it from here?
It's like an all or nothing move.
See, that's the finisher move animation that I knew from this game. I've never seen the one I did earlier with Booker T.
I don't think these superstars
All right, so to recap, we were reading lines to audition for a WWE Studios film. Carlito hit me with a huge light, and then we beat him up. And then there's this is a generic cutscene. I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure I saw this in 2007. In fact, this cutscene is used in Road to WrestleMania in 09 and 10. I'm pretty sure I've seen this cutscene. Is it still in the game now? There's a good chance this is still in the game now. Universe mode. Peep, I take it you like a lot of storylines and creative in wrestling. I think, yeah, I would say so. I think obviously the wrestling matters. The wrestling is the payoff. If you're telling a story, I think it needs to lead to a good match. But the storylines and the drama is what makes the matches possible. If it is wrestling for wrestling's sake, which is basically New Japan, and a little bit of AEW, if you're just wrestling for wrestling's sake, I don't really get invested in it because the wins don't really matter, the losses don't really matter. And if the wins and losses don't matter, then I'm just kind of like, what are we doing here? No point in watching wrestling if the wins and losses don't really matter. But if you have a character thread and the wins and losses pay off in a storyline, I am all on board. I don't want to give it spoilers, but let's take Sami Zayn, for example. Sami Zayn, in the lead up to WrestleMania, had basically been abused by his friends and walked over because he's such a good guy. He turns heel he turns heel before WrestleMania, and he beats who did he beat for the US Championship? I can't remember who he beat for the US Championship, but either way, he screwed over Carmelo Hayes. So Sami Zayn turns heel after being told by all of his friends and Cody Rhodes that turning heel is the wrong move. It's going to end up really, really bad for you. He did beat Carmelo Hayes, sorry. So he beat Carmelo Hayes for the US Championship. So then solidifying that what Sami did at WrestleMania was right. Because he beat Carmelo he turned heel, he beat Carmelo Hayes for the US title, and he went on to defend the title at WrestleMania, which is ultimately what he wanted. Through the year, things happen. Sami, for the most part, has paid off he's been pretty good. Like he's been in high profile positions, he's had main events, he's had title matches since he turned heel. Without spoiling things for Night of Champions, because I don't want to spoil things for people in chat, we're seeing the ramifications again of that character. We're not only going to see the ramifications of that character, we're going to see the ramifications of that character on other people. And I just think that's amazing stuff. Like the fact that one match can tell the story of like 3 people in separate directions. Wrestling's so fucking cool, man. Wrestling is so cool. Wrestle to become a champion and have the best win-loss record. I personally don't like the storylines in creative and wrestling. I mean, it's so boring. Like, if you didn't have storylines, I would not be watching it. The wrestling, I have short-term gratification in terms of the wrestling being good, but if there are no storylines and characters and creative, then I'm not gonna invest. I'm not gonna invest in any of these characters. Welcome in, Elite. You know, 𝗦𝗺𝗰𝗸𝗵, for example, is a fucking badass. I love his character. He's so good in the ring. He's got aura and charisma off the charts. If he didn't have that, he would still be a good wrestler. But ultimately, it's like his character that keeps me watching every single week, you know? Look at Money in the Bank. They win, then they lose for a while before they cash in, become champion. Vince McMahon was so bad for that, man.
Hi there, it's Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie McMahon in capital letters.
I was very impressed with your audition. You might have the it factor we're looking for. We'll be evaluating your performances over the next several weeks before making our final decision.
What do you think about modern wrestling? I haven't watched in a while here. I haven't watched in a while now, but I hear they still have the same wrestlers from 20 years ago. No, I don't think that's right. Elite, it sounds like we are the same. Like it needs to be a good balance. I think that the storyline needs to be faithful to the characters, but at the same time, they're ultimately leading to a wrestling match, and I think the wrestling match needs to be good. I think that's the best of both worlds. Is that WrestleMania 40 proved that to me to the highest degree. Like WrestleMania 40's main event is the epitome of storytelling, wrestling. They did everything perfectly. I mean, I say they did everything perfectly. I mean, the road to WrestleMania that year was a bit rocky. In the most literal sense, it was very rocky. But ultimately, in the end, the feeling that we all had at WrestleMania 40 was just, if I could capture that in a bottle, and then when I'm feeling down, open that up. Oh my god, that would have been fucking amazing. But yeah, Danny, I don't no. I everyone in WWE's new. Every single one of them. I don't know any retro people who are still wrestling. Or who've been around for the longest time. R-Truth is probably one of the oldest people on like the roster. He's been there since, I mean, he had left, but he'd been there since like 2000 and he'd been there since 1999. Like, it's crazy to think that he's actually been there for a long time. No, but no, genuinely, everyone in WWE is pretty new. I guess CM Punk's been around for a while, but definitely not 20 years ago. He's only been around 2008. I guess that is almost 20 years ago. Fucking hell, man. Anyway, let's continue the storyline. Triple H versus Orton at WrestleMania was a good example when he punted the McMahons. If made you want to, well, you know, WrestleMania 25 is actually the best example for what I'm talking about in terms of it was actually a really good storyline with Orton abusing McMahon's, trying to get in Triple H's head. But the match they had was dreadful. The match they had was so fucking bad. So I actually think that that's probably an example of when storytelling goes wrong, because I don't know what happened at that WrestleMania, but Triple H destroyed Orton and it was boring. It was main event as well.
Superstar who wants to prove to WWE Films that he's a superior athlete. So I'm putting you two in a match this week. You've got your work cut out for you. He's no stranger to championship gold, so be ready.
Okay. I'm number one in Power 25. Awesome. I should probably explain how this game works, right? You have the legend meter in the top right. So you need to, as you continue these storylines, you need to do things to increase your legend status by winning matches, titles, being in the top of 25. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, earn money. There's a whole bunch of stuff, win Royal Rumbles. And all of it contributes to your legend process. Winning, putting it to 100% means you technically win the mode. It doesn't really get you anything. Elite Edge versus Matt Hardy was pretty intense feud. It was basically the first ever social media type feud. That's a fair point. It was pretty real. I think even by the time they had fought, though, I think they've pretty much squashed the beef even by the time they got in the ring together. They didn't want you to know that at the time, though, obviously. Lesnar, Orton, and Rhodes are a few names that I'm surprised are going. Rhodes? He's still fairly young. Cody never made it big in WWE. I mean, he's been around since... When did Rhodes join? 2009? 10? I wouldn't, but even then he was really young in 2009 and 10. So no, I wouldn't say that Rhodes is an old head in any regard. He's actually, this is really him just starting. Cameron, welcome in. Mysterio since 02. Mysterio, yeah. The thing is though, people are going to complain about Lesnar and Mysterio being in WWE, but they're winding down. Like, they're getting to the end of their run.
You're gonna get the humiliation of a lifetime.
I'm facing Nitro again? God damn it.
Me, that's not gonna improve the odds of landing that movie role at all.
Jeff Jarrett. 2. Jeff is interesting. He's not, is he wrestling anywhere? I don't know if he is. I know he's been working with Acclaim. I've been keeping an eye on Acclaim. because I want to know if there's any wrestling games on the horizon from them. The longest running wrestlers are Christian, Cope, Jericho, Joe, Orton, Truth. Exactly. But a lot of them aren't,
Less than 2 months
you know, a lot of them aren't WWE
It's
people.
good old JR Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler at ringside.
Dan, got to go up there early in the morning. Dude, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next one.
To prove that he's the real deal, in and out of the ring.
It looks to me like he's ready to do just that, King.
Well, I guess we'll have to see if that's the
Matt and
truth.
Jeff.
Or
I
if
guess
he's
Matt and Jeff
just
have been around a while, actually. I'm surprised how long they've been. Jeff especially. At least Matt, Matt slowed himself down quite a bit. Jeff has never quite figured out how to slow down in wrestling. Hitting the old crouton, as Matt would call it.
A rivalry over a movie role. But there's more on the line than whose name winds up on the marquee.
That's right. Only the top superstars star in a WWE Films project. And if you weren't a main eventer before, you sure will be after.
I usually skip entrances because it's just flavor text. It doesn't actually contribute to anything. I don't know if that's just me getting old and boring, but I don't know. I appreciate that they record the dialogue and it is cool, but at the same time, I'm just like, eh. It takes longer to load into the entrances than it would be to load into the match, and the dialogue never contributes to anything, so. A WWE Films project, something that would reduce your legend status. Exactly.
Come on. He's not
I don't know anybody who ended up in a better position in WWE because they did a film.
Angling for a little more screen time.
And I don't think his rival appreciates the interference.
I'm sure he doesn't. Not after what they did to each other last week.
One of my favorite things about WWE Studios is that they made See No Evil, which to be fair is actually a pretty good film.
Someone else steal his thunder.
See No Evil is actually a pretty good film, but the rest of them not so great. And apparently the story goes that WWE, Vince wanted to make films. He always talks about how WWE we make films, blah blah blah. That basically came as a massive shock to WWE at the time. I think Vince and I've forgotten his name, the guy with the big teeth, Kevin Dunn. I think that they were surprised to learn that films are really fucking expensive to make, and they're really hard to make as well. I think they or they thought at the time that it would be like WWE, where you can kind of just film and get it done in a oneer, not realizing that movies take a year to make. Welcome in, Adrian. We are not talking about it to not spoil anything, but I feel like you may have just spoiled it for some people in chat. But that's okay, you know? Maybe that's their fault for not watching live. I don't know.
Been up there for so long that would be no easy feat.
I'm not getting at you. It's not a big deal. My favorite new age wrestler is Charlie Dempsey. Who's yours? Oh God.
He's just showing up for the crowd now.
He's wrestling the match his way, and I think it's going to pay off. Mark my words.
Oh boy, this is going to be big.
Whisper in the wind, and that might have given him the edge.
I don't know. I really don't know.
What's he up to?
Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this.
Probably Trick Williams. That took me a long time to think about there. Well, it depends. What are we counting as new age? Give me 2018 Kenny Omega any day.
How beat up you are, you can't ever let your
2018 Kenny Omega is gonna kill everybody in the ring. Holy shit. Kenny Omega now, a little slower, a little heavier, a little slower.
You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the people some of the time, but there's no fooling the WWE. This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow. Could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced?
I think if we're talking If we're talking like just the last, you know, couple years or whatever, I'd probably say like Kenny. Somebody who's just started in the last 5 years.
We could be looking at a pinfall here, folks.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Trick. I mean, WWE's got a lot of talent right now. Like Carmelo, Trick, Oba, people who started in the last 5 years. I mean, technically Danhausen. I don't know what the legs are in Danhausen, but he seems to have legs at the moment.
The last man left standing in the ring. That's a point in your
Ricky
favor.
Saints.
Makes me wonder.
Who knows who's going to jump to WWE? You know, MJF might go over there. I don't know why he would, but he could.
Case of having a common enemy.
Well, they certainly his charisma.
Osprey's my favorite at the moment. I remember his time in New Japan though 6 years ago. Jesus.
Team effort, if you know what
I
I'm
remember
saying.
watching well, I wasn't really watching New Japan 6 years ago, but yeah, like Osprey was on the radar at that time, and he was good. He was very good. I remember the first time I think I properly watched Osprey was probably when he like was trending with Ricochet, right? He was doing the gymnastic shit with Ricochet and being super controversial. I got injured. I suffered a significant injury as a result of my ongoing stress. There's nothing I can do about that because I can't take time off.
Just so you know, I had nothing to do with what happened last week. I don't need
George, pre-orders for GTA 6 right now. Are you pre-ordering? Thoughts on no disc?
Attacked, but my reputation was attacked too.
I
Can't afford that right now.
I probably will pre-order. I don't know if I care much about no disc, I'll be honest. And that's not like to sit that like, there should be a disc version. I don't know why there isn't. I'd imagine the game is probably like a ton of gigabytes. There should really be a disc version for GTA 6, but I don't think it's like a deal breaker for me if there isn't one.
We still haven't decided who our leading man will be, but I thought you should know that.
But yeah, I wasn't gonna pre-order it. I don't like the price. I will. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? For all the things that bother me about GTA 6, the price is probably the biggest one. I'm not too keen on the the Ultimate Edition as well, being a hundo, but also locking shops and stuff. I'm not really happy with that either. that's literally locking game mechanics behind an Ultimate Edition, which is super lame. Ricky's been around for more than 5 years. I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's nobody in WWE who's just started. I don't think there's anybody in WWE who's just literally just popped out the womb in the last 5 years. I have no idea. I assumed you meant people who were new to WWE within the last 5 years. Yeah, I have no idea then. I don't know. Do I have any thoughts on TEW? I haven't played it. I tried to buy it recently, but you can only buy it from their official website, which is totally fine. But it did maybe put me off a little bit. Also, it fucking said triple threat match. This is not a triple threat match. This is a handicap match. All right. We need to check for DQs because I might need to use weapons in this match. Yeah, Danny, I would like to try TEW. I think I should try it on the stream sometime. TEW, it's Total Extreme Wrestling, I think.
That's right, JR.
I don't know if that's what it stands for actually, but it's a booking simulator. You book your own show, you do contracts, negotiations, management, superstar management, morale. It's GM mode. It's a GM mode, basically. We'll take an 8 to download. Over $100 is a lot, but what can you do? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I was talking to my fiance about this, and I'm just like, man, you know, of all the games to come out at $100, I think GTA 6 is like the one that people are just going to pay anyway. I don't think it really matters, you know, what I think people see 100 and they're like, hey, GTA 6, I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna enjoy it, I'll pay a hundo. I don't think anybody's gonna like criticize it. Even if everyone in the world said we are not gonna buy this because it's 100, I think Rockstar would just be like, yeah, it's gonna be 100 and you're gonna deal with it. Now we have seen before though, we have seen before with like the Outer Worlds on Xbox and stuff. They were going to launch the Outer Worlds for 80, but everyone was like, no, your game's not worth 80. So Xbox did actually put that price down. So like it has worked before. But the thing is, the game's out for pre-order now. I don't think it's going to go down in price.
He might have behaved unethically when he interfered last week, but it did get him back into the running for the WWE.
Final Fantasy Rebirth has an install disc, so other games can do that too. I think the original remake might have had an install disc as well. Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. If Red Dead Redemption can have an install disc, unless they're telling me that the install disc is still too, like, the game's bigger than the install disc. There is always an associated cost with making discs and stuff. The original idea for digital was always supposed to be digital is cheaper because you don't have to manufacture discs, but it's never been cheaper. So GTA 6 is just coming out at an ungodly amount of money because it's GTA, and that's just what people are just gonna have to deal with it, unfortunately. I do think for other games though, I do hope people keep up the fight. I think it is understandable that GTA 6 is just going to come out at like an ungodly price and there's nothing we can do about it. But I just hope that, like, as time goes on, I just hope that we continue the fight on other games.
What does he think he's doing?
Exactly. Plus the old map. You don't get any of the cool collectibles like the map or anything. Like, I don't know. They're just going to charge you more game, but you get less of it. That's shitification right there.
And I have to tell you, I'm impressed with what this kid brings to the table.
What's that exactly? A bunch of half-chewed apples?
Just so you know, if you pre-order GTA 6, it signs you up for GTA Plus auto renewal. Oh my god, that's really bad. I did hear that you get GTA Online as part of the GTA 6 pre-order. That's actually pretty cool, to be fair. But yeah, not ideal if it's going to... Oh shit, I forgot I'm injured. That's not ideal if it's going to like put you up for an auto renewal thing. So people are going to end up like paying, unexpectedly signing up to a renewal service that they might not even want. The thing, I'm surprised that people aren't complaining about, people are complaining more about the no disc thing than no online. And that really surprises me. I thought people would be complaining more about the fact that GTA 6 is not coming out with an online mode. I mean, I'm personally quite excited for the single player mode. I don't really play online games, so I'm not really bothered about whether it has an online mode or not. I would like to try it. If it's like GTA Online, I certainly will try it. Whether I actually play it or not.
He's all fired up now, King, and I'd hate to be on the receiving end. I don't think his opponent's got a hope of hurting.
You can play it earlier too. I mean, that usually happens with Ultimate Editions and all that. You usually get some early access.
This is gonna be big.
In the win.
Peep, you don't even care about. Yeah, that's fine. It's not for everyone, you know. Silly question, but if there's no disc, it can't sell out. No. That's an interesting thing, an interesting discussion though, isn't it? About why would you pre-order something? The whole point of pre-ordering at a store is to ensure that the store gets stock for your game. So like if you pre-order it, you put your name down you're essentially putting your name on the delivery to say, look, I want a copy of this game and I want it delivered to this shop so that when the game comes out, it's like it will be delivered to that shop and it has your name on it, so it shouldn't sell out. Whereas digitally, you know, it's never going to run out of stock. It's available at all times as long as the server's up anyway. Welcome in, Space Ghost. I think you've changed your username, haven't you? It now says Nerdy. I'd feel like it didn't say Nerdy before. the fact that the Ultimate Edition has more to it than the standard makes me sad. I mean, that's how those versions work. Like, you want to have less? You're always going to get more for the Ultimate Edition. I do agree, though. I don't mind. I really don't mind the Ultimate Edition having extra content, for example, like an extra mission or costumes or whatever else. But I really don't like the idea of having shops, specific shops, being locked behind the Ultimate Edition. I think that's really bad, and especially if like the open world is going to have these shops in it that you can't go to. Like, that seems really bad, in my opinion, anyway. What do I know? Shouldn't have gone for that. No resale market. I guess so. Who's going to trade? Well, that's a silly thing to say, actually. I think everyone trades in their copies of GTA. Oh, I missed that dive. Oh, no. I think I'm going to lose this match.
All I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. 2, 3.
Shit. That's fine. You're probably supposed to lose this match because it's the handicap match. So this is career mode. Does it change which wrestler you pick? I would feel awful for Carlito if you chose Batista or Kane. No. The storyline plays out pretty much the same way. I think if you I actually don't know about 2008. If you select Carlito, I wonder if it changes the storyline at all. In some cases, in the other SmackDown vs. Raw games, if you do select certain characters, you can get locked out of specific storylines. I'm not sure if it's the same in this game or not. For example, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 has 7 has a storyline between Eddie Guerrero and The Undertaker, and if you select any one of those characters, you can't do that storyline. Same if you pick Benoit, I guess there's no storylines and stuff. There are some storylines, but you just don't have those ones that feature voice acting for those characters. Do you have any fun memories of SVR 2008? I only remember doing 6-man matches and stuff, but career mode was a bit stale. Yeah, the career mode, I don't hate it. This suggests that you're increasing the risk of injury unless you take preventative. I can't stop wrestling. I'm not.
I didn't mean to put you in a handicap match like that, and I'm not happy about being played for a fool either. I'm bringing in someone to help you teach those two a lesson. He's a WWE and Hollywood legend. If you smell what I'm cooking.
Jeez. Yeah, I do have some good memories of SVR 2006. You know, I've said this before, like when I was younger, my brother would play SmackDown vs. Raw. He would do the GM mode, and I would hold on, let me put the music on. Oh my god, that's loud. Holy moly. I did not match the vibe. Yeah, so when I was playing SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, my brother would like run GM mode. He would have all 3 shows to himself, but he would let me do like a kind of monthly ECW show, and he would let me use some of the characters that he hadn't drafted and stuff. And I've always appreciated, I think, or at least since I've started the channel, I've really appreciated, in hindsight, that he like didn't want to include me in actual GM mode because it would like stop him from playing week to week, and you could only have 1 game save at a time, so there was no way that you can have 2 game saves. But I let him play GM modes for like basically a month or 2, and then he would let me do a pay-per-view for ECW, and I liked being included that way. In hindsight, you know, when I was younger, I didn't realize what he was doing, but I realize now that like it was just his way of including me. And we used to do like, we were really keen on like WrestleMania and stuff, because WrestleMania in this game in GM mode, you can do like brand warfare. So there's certain matches that are booked out in the cards that are like Raw versus SmackDown or whatever it may be, and Yeah, we even used to back in the day, because it was ran through a PS3 with like a SCART cable, so you could plug that into a VHS and run that through your TV, and we would, or rather, you run it into the TV, you run the SCART into the back of the VHS, and the VHS would record what is on the TV. So you would be able to actually record your own pay-per-views, and that's what we did. We recorded our own pay-per-views on videotape, and it was really, really fun. And I remember those days, and it was good fun. He also let me create loads of characters, let me have some fun with that. None of them were any good, and I just appreciate that he involved me in so many ways. We played this game a lot, and it's weird because there's no game modes in this game. It's GM mode and nothing. Like, there is a story mode, GM mode, and exhibition, pay-per-view, create superstar, and all that, but it's just funny, and nowadays we're always clamoring for like new game modes and stuff, but I think we've lost something in the march forward for progression. I think we've lost something because we had so much less back in the day, but we enjoyed these games so much more, and I think that's an important thing, I think. Especially with this channel specifically, going back in time, playing some of these older SmackDown vs. Raw games. Peep, I see you talking about WrestleMania 2000 there. Like, we played WrestleMania 2000. It was the first time I ever played WrestleMania 2000, and yes, it has a Road to WrestleMania mode. It's very different. And even today, when I was in Dunfermline, there was a Comic-Con on. I was talking to a seller, a trade guy at the Comic-Con, and he was saying, oh, WrestleMania 2000 was so cool. He played it with his friends. He didn't even know that No Mercy came out. But then going back to WrestleMania 2000, it had creative pay-per-view. It had creative pay-per-view, Road to WrestleMania, exhibition. That was basically it. There was nothing else. And like, nowadays we've got GM mode, My Faction, The Island, universe modes, and admittedly half of them are rubbish. We don't want to play them, but we have so many options now. And even though we have so many options and the games are functionally better, like technically better, they run on better hardware, they look better, they play better, we still don't enjoy them as much. And I think that's a really interesting like standpoint, and maybe that's something I should look into. Maybe I should look into, like, why are the retro games more fun? Why do they last longer than like 2K? Because like I played 2K recently to unlock ringside pass characters, and I haven't really gone back to the game since, because I feel like all of my time is taken up by playing the ringside pass, trying to unlock everything, whereas like I'm not really playing the game anymore. I'm now just doing matches for the sake of unlocking things, and I'm just doing the Brock Lesnar method, the Brock Lesnar Stephanie McMahon method of playing a match for a minute, making her tap, and then doing that again for hours on end just to unlock everything. Like, where's the fun in that? And I realized what the mode was supposed to be. Ringside Pass was supposed to be, you play the game however you want to play and you unlock XP regardless of what mode you're playing. But I don't want to play the modes. There's nothing keeping me playing the game. I would put, if Universe mode was better, if it had any kind of booking capabilities, if it had any kind of storytelling capabilities, if it didn't crash all the time, and it actually worked in any way, I would play the shit out of Universe mode. I would. Universe mode is like the perfect game mode. It's randomly generated calendar of events with storylines and characters. I would play it. I would play it so much. So much. I don't think that they play better than some. Perfectly valid. I would argue that like 2K26 is the best. Like, if you just want like a wrestling game, I can't think of a better wrestling game. I mean, it doesn't have quick grapples. I guess that is a fair argument, but like you can do springboard, you can run, you can do running springboard, you can dive over the corner, you can now do corner finishers, you can do break the barricades, you can break the tables, like anything you can think of in a wrestling match you can pretty much do in 2K26. And there's definitely less rigid rules and barriers in place for 2K26. I would say the chain wrestling's pretty good, like the grappling system's decent, the striking system is a little bit fighting gamey, but it's there, you know, like when you press a button there's not a million years of delay like SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. There's no delay, like everything is very snappy, the reversal system is okay, it has very good animations, and these are all things that like play into like 2K26 is like a really good wrestling game. The Akis, Here Comes Pain, SVR, and 2006 are better. Well, it comes down to like opinion, right? But I would still say that 2K26, like 2K26 plays better than all those games. Like if I was to pick up a controller, press some buttons, I mean, Here Comes the Pain may be the exception, maybe, but even then it's not like, maybe Here Comes the Pain and SVR and 2K26 is maybe like in the same level of like, they're both pick up and play and they feel great. Like I don't really have that same, the Aki games are not, like, I hate to break it to everyone, but they're really not that fun to play, I guess. They're slow, they're rigid, characters are awkward to move, they're heavy. Like, maybe I'm not explaining this right. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I do know what I'm trying to say, but I just don't know how to explain it. It's the realism of the newer game. Some of my fondest memories were playing Raw's War and changing the intros just for hilarity. Playing Raw's War. Do you mean what do you mean? What do you mean? Changing the intros for the hilarity? Do you mean like the Aki games, changing the costumes, or yeah, I'm not sure. Xbox. You can change the intro on Raw? That's what, yeah, Peep, that's what I mean. I don't think Raw Xbox has that functionality, does it? It plays an intro of Raw and then it plays a real-time pyro. I don't think you can change that. Unless I'm wrong. The earliest wrestling game I can remember playing was No Mercy. Yeah. I think it was really interesting. Like the guy I was talking to today at Comic-Con, he was like, I didn't even know No Mercy came out. No, Peep, I know that Raw is an Xbox game, but I'm saying what Danny has explained doesn't make sense. It's not in that game. I know wrestling games, I just don't know what Danny's talking about. Yeah, I find it really interesting. In fact, that brings up another story that's in my head, in my noggin. I remember back in the day, like before the internet, before all those gubbins, my brother used to just walk into a game shop and just look at the wall, and he'd be like, "That game's cool, that game's cool." I didn't know that came out. I think one of my favorite games of all time, Soul Reaver 2, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 2. My brother picked it up at the shop, and it had been out for like 3 months, and like he didn't even know it came out. And I just find that crazy that like nowadays I'm like, I've got a calendar with like 100 games in it. I've got game releases out the ears on my calendar, and that didn't exist back then. I guess back then you probably would have bought a magazine that probably would have said, probably quite an expensive magazine back in the day, here's a PlayStation magazine, here's all the games that come out on the PlayStation in June, July, whatever it may be. And like, yeah, just really interesting back in the day. Anyone here played WWE Raw Deal? No. Raw Deal. Like Monopoly? Would be raw deal game. Oh, a card game. It was designed by Mick Foley? What the fuck? A 61 card starter deck. I think I might need to show this one on stream, to be honest. Wait, was that a WWF card? Oh, that's the WWF card. So they were around for the name change. How is it Divas Overload, but John Cena's on the card? Or these are the these are the starter decks. Interesting. Look at that picture of Paul Heyman. Oh. Dude, there were so many of these. Holy shit. At the end of your pre-match phase, search your arsenal. Search your arsenal for one non-unique card with SmackDown logo. Reveal it in your superstar value. $7.99. That's all right. Mick Foley basically invented Supercard. What? That is the worst picture they could have used for that. Holy shit. Also... Huh, never mind. Jeez, oh. Absolutely Raw and Ultimate SmackDown. I do like that tin though. Oh, they're both tins. Oh, that's so cool. That's crazy. I didn't know this existed, so thank you. I can't remember the game, but I was like 10. There was a game, either Xbox or PS1, where you could edit the intros so you can have wrestlers entering via shopping trolleys. Oh, the shopping trolley. There's an entrance in SmackDown Shut Your Mouth where you can fly in on a... There's two entrances in Shut Your Mouth that are pretty famous. There's a shopping cart one where you roll down the ramp on a shopping cart, and there's the one where you swing down to the ring as Spider-Man. And those two entrances are really popular. So I don't know, maybe that's what you mean, maybe. I'm really curious what game you played. I'm not sure you can edit the entrances, but not the intro. I assume you mean SmackDown vs. Raw, the entrances. Oh wow, so there actually were quite a few of them. Premier Edition, Fully Loaded, Backlash, Revolution. Interesting that it's Revolution 3 Judgment Day and not just like its own, Judgment Day. Every other pay-per-view has its own thing, but anyway. Typically, a Raw deal includes cards representing everything, blah, 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 blah. Superstar value. Every superstar card has a superstar ability which reflects the wrestler's in-ring abilities and often forms the basis of a deck. Some superstars cards are referred to as remakes. This is because they represent the same WWE persona as an existing superstar card with a different title and size, superstar value, and okay. They do not count as the same superstar as the original, so they are conceptually different and often played quite differently. So the winner of the game can win either by pinfall or countout. So either inflict enough damage so your opponent has to overturn more cards, like Hearthstone. Count out, an opponent ends any turn with no cards left in their arsenal. A player may elect to refuse a count out and go for a pin. if they want to prevent the opponent from deliberately counting themselves out. Interesting. It seems really interesting. I still can't believe that Mick Foley designed this fucking thing. He designed it with someone else. Okay, so there is a backstage area. This is where a player's superstar card and backstage areas are located. Although these superstars are on the table, they're not considered to be in the ring area. Most backstage areas are card specific. And they're not very powerful, but they are basically free cards. They can't be reversed or modified. Interesting. It's very interesting. Sorry, my cat was yelling at me there. No, I know that he did. I just saying I can't believe it. Gee, I wonder how much that card costs now. The Chris Benoit card. I mean, I'm sure all these cards have probably got some price to them. Let's have a look on eBay. I've never looked on eBay before, but let's have a look. eBay. WWF Raw Deal cards. Oh, hey, there's actually some in here. And they're really not that expensive. You could probably collect quite a fair few of these. I wonder if there's any cards that are considered rare. They're really not that expensive at all. £30, that's not expensive. 6 sealed decks for £65. That seems too good to be true. I mean, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. Somebody said there that Elite Nova, Mick Foley basically invented Supercard. I think I'm gonna have to Google that as well. Mick Foley did be Supercard. He was removed from the game because he doesn't like Trump. Ugh, whatever. I feel like if I won't be able to find anything. I'm guessing I was just joking around. Oh, shit. See, you had me going there. I believed it. I'm gullible. I would have believed you, genuinely. But I guess this sounds really similar in some aspects to Supercard. Look up star decks. I mean, they're right here. £65 for 6 of them. They got the world's greatest tag team, the NWO, Eddie, RVD, Kali, Ezo, and then Divas. Wrestle Hut. What else have Wrestle Hut got on their eBay listing? We're going down the rabbit hole now. Oh, look, there's even more there. £70 for more trading cards, different types of trading cards. Slam Attacks 2010. Tops. Doesn't say the year, but I'm guessing that's maybe an oldie. This guy's just cards. Do people really care about cards? Trading cards? I feel like it was really big when I was young, but I'm not sure it's like super popular anymore. I'm not sure nowadays people particularly care about trading cards. There they are. My boys, Cody and Ted. Oh, my absolute boy. Look at that 2004 trading card for Triple H. Holy moly. Look at this dweeb. What a fucking loser. Oh, they're so boring cards. I'm curious what's on the back of them, though. Put Raw Deals starter decks. In here? What am I looking for, though? I mean, we've already seen them. Like, what do we want? I bet the Triple H cards had the best stats, honestly. Raw Deals starter packs. Nope, starter packs. £30, holy moly. I mean, you're not going to get a better deal than that one person selling 6 of them for 40. How can you do that? A Big Show pack, brand new, $5.99 sticker on it, but you're selling it for 20 quid. I mean, that's the bid, right? Best offer. £378 for sealed Undertaker Kane heart. Nah. Here's another Big Show one. It's cheaper. Oh, it's not sealed. See? The £8 difference between sealed and not sealed. There's a Right to Censor one for $18.18 as well. There was another Right to Censor one for 20, and I think there was another one here for another 20. Apparently, a Right to Censor, very popular back in the day for these cards. What else is on there? AI Gubbins. Fuck off. Fuck off, AI, man. Jesus. We got Booker T there, and he's trying his tighty whities. What else do we have? Basically £30. If you want to start a pack, basically £30. Look at that packet, though. Oh my god, that packet is yellowed. It's got some Dorito dust on it. It's seen some shit, right? There's some grime on there. Holy moly. £23, I guess. Not the worst price ever. Oh, it comes with the Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, Edge of Christian, and the Right to Censor. Okay. Yeah, that's. I did not know about this game, so thank you very much for showing me it. It is an oldie though. I wouldn't have thought people. I mean, back in this day, definitely people will have cared about trading cards. Nowadays, though, don't think people overly care about trading cards. So that's why I was surprised to see some more modern cards, the Mattel ones, right? Not Mattel. The 2010 cards, the Panini and the Stacks cards and all that. That's a series, I think. Yeah. What's this one? A 23 card collection. So these are the individual cards you'd get. In fact, that's pretty cool. We can actually read these. Chop to the chest, step aside, leg sweep, arm drag, headbutt. These are literally kind of laid out like these literally laid out like Magic the Gathering cards. Speaking of trading cards, I think social media has created all these fake hobby. Oh, do you know, actually, Nova, that's a very valid point. Pokemon is like the ultimate trading card, and like I feel like everyone commission rules. Yeah, like Pokemon and like Yu-Gi-Oh cards are, Pokemon especially, the cards are ridiculous. Because like scalpers just buy like a bajillion packs and then they sell the cards individually. They get them like rated and then they sell them individually online. Like who? That's a special kind of loser that does that, you know? There's a cheeky little X-Files card. It got what was that? Scully and Mulder or whatever the fucking names are. X-Files, and then we got Frodo. The legend comes to life. What? Sting? Or maybe that's the tagline for the Fellowship of the Ring, because it is the iconic. Oh, here's the backside of those Lord of the Rings cards. Hold on. Topps captures all of the magic of this epic fantasy adventure as it is brought to life on the big screen by New Line Cinema. Follow this legendary journey through Middle-earth with in-depth story cards and character profiles, plus taking a look behind the scenes making of this groundbreaking film in in stores December. That's hilarious. And the X-Files, October 2001. I didn't realize the show was on that late. Wow. Dude, I'm such a huge Lord of the Rings fans, so I'm very surprised that like this is here. And like didn't realize it had that kind of tagline. The legend comes to life. Huh. Huh. Hold on, actually. Doesn't IMDb have like a tagline thing on there? Sometimes they have like a thing that says like, here's the movie's tagline. Oh, here it is. The legend comes to life. That actually is the tagline. Oh my god, there's some terrible taglines on here. The one ring to rule them all. Fair enough. You will find adventure, or adventure will find you. Okay. Then you've got the ring inscription. Its power corrupts all who desire it. Only one has the will to resist it. A fellowship now must destroy it. Fair enough. That's not really a tagline, but sure. Fate has chosen him. A fellowship will protect him, and evil will hunt them. That's so cool. That's a good one. Bit wordy though. A little bit wordy. Middle Earth comes alive is good, but only if you know what Middle Earth is. So I feel like it's not the same. Doesn't hit the right. Even the smallest person could change the course of history. That's not terrible. I think it's actually a line from the film. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that we are given. That is not... It's a great line in the film. Terrible for selling a film, though. And power can be held in the smallest of things. Yeah. Every man has probably heard that once in his life. Yeah, so anyway. I've never heard such a thing. What are you talking about? But yeah, that's going to be us for today. I think that's going to wrap up our waffling stream today, that's for sure. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great weekend. I don't think we're going to have time. I don't think we're going to have time for a Sunday stream or a Sunday video. But yeah, we're going to have some... I can maybe chuck in a bonus stream next week or something. I don't know. I'll put it in the calendar whenever I figure out what time I've got to stream. But worst case, I'll see you next Friday for another stream. We're gonna play something. I can't remember what. I'm so tired. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you everyone for being here. Peep as always. Elite Nova as well. The world is watching. A line that WWE hates. WWE fans do hate that. That's a very old. That was when WWE was failing, right? That was the bad one. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Catch you next week. Have a good weekend, and bye for now.